Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again with Troy Nelson.
How you doing?
How's it going, dude?
Great. Thank you for having me back in this wonderful, wonderful room.
Yes. Well, you were here today because you and I love to collect music and vinyl records.
That's
and
right.
We each have a stack, and I don't know what you got.
No, we do this. We do not look at what each other has picked up in recent months, and so we surprise each other with our music / vinyl-y pickup-y things.
Yes. And I just let you know that my stack has some of my favorite albums growing up as a kid by far.
Interesting.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. So many.
I have a few surprises in my stack as well.
Yeah, there's going to be. Okay, so, well, we were trying to decide who'd go first.
Who goes first? Well, I have the Metal
You have
Jesus.
the coin, and mine's upstairs, so...
Yes, I have the Metal Jesus Rocks coin, so I'm going to say the Devil Horns is you, and...
Oh, are we going to flip?
Metal Militia is me. All right, here we go. Looks like it's me.
It's him.
All right.
All right, dude. What do you...
First one. All right, so this I just picked up. I'm very excited about it.
Oh,
it is the Shovel Knight soundtrack on vinyl.
Whoa, look at that cover.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's fantastic. And if you take it out, you can see that they did a great job with the packaging. There is this beautiful booklet.
Oh, wow.
And it's on beautiful Shovel Knight blue vinyl.
Oh, wow, look at that. Wow, they did a great job on this.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very excited to pick up the Shovel Knight soundtrack. Love the game, love the music.
I'm already jealous.
Yes.
Oh, okay, and there's like a making of it, behind the scenes sort of thing going on here, like an interview.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yes. Well, there's my first one.
Well, that is going to be hard to top.
All right. Well, coming out of the gate strong.
All right, so mine are a little bit in just random order here, but
sure.
I've been listening to a lot of Archenemy.
Oh.
Archenemy is...
I've never heard Archenemy, but I know this name.
Yeah, so Anna, Circuits and Coffee, introduced me to these guys. Now, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They've made like 10 albums or something like that. Changed singers a couple times. I've been really... So they have they're like melodic death metal.
Awesome.
Very complicated, very fast, and she growls like a demon, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
So this is a live album. This is As the Stages Burn. This is their live album from the Wacken. It's in Germany. It's that heavy metal festival that happens every year.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the world's largest heavy metal festival that happens in like northern Germany.
We have to go to that someday.
Dude.
Yes.
Anna. I would love that.
Because Anna's a metal drummer, too.
And they get some amazing people to perform there. I mean, we're talking like AAA bands, all the way down to like little bands and multiple stages. It'd be amazing. So, so this is a great album. I love Archenemy because they really put a lot into their packaging. So this album here, it's a double album. It's 180 gram vinyl. It's the entire concert. Of course, they put in a colored vinyl.
Great.
But they also include the DVD, so you can watch it as well. It comes with music videos. It comes with interviews. It comes with behind the scenes. I mean, they do it well.
It's amazing.
So cool. So I'm a new fan of Archenemy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so I'm digging, kind of going back into their catalog and kind of looking at their stuff.
And I trust any recommendation from Anna. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yes. All right. So on to the next. I picked this up. Well, what's funny is you had shown me this today, and you handed me this.
That's right. Yeah.
And what's funny is it's going to tie into...
So Aksum Vert.
It's going to...
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge. It's going to tie into my next pickup. And so when you handed me that, when I came over, I was like, oh, I have the soundtrack now.
Oh, well, it's a great soundtrack.
Wow,
dude.
Fantastic soundtrack. And what's awesome is the story behind... the person who, Thomas Happ, who made Axiom Vert.
Yeah, it's like one dude made this entire game.
Yep, and he tells the story about how he made this game and what he went through. His story is absolutely fantastic. And it's on this beautiful white vinyl as
look at that. Wow.
So, and I love this game. So, I thank you for this.
Oh, well, that's so cool. Yeah, I have an extra
in.
copy, so... Oh, cool, man. Yeah. Huh. Well, I need that.
Yes. Yes, you do.
All right, so next up for me, I'm actually going to show two albums at once because they're by the same artist, and I picked them up at the same time.
Okay, I'm ready.
That is Mr. Marilyn Manson.
Oh, yes.
So
Mr. Manson.
Mr. Manson. So I am a longtime Mr. Manson fan. I actually saw him in concert.
I have too.
I saw him open up for, I forget the name of the band, but he was the opening act way back in like 1992.
Oh.
This is back whenever he would take a a light bulb and break it against his chest.
Okay.
And it was like the Smells Like Children tour or something like that.
Right.
But anyways, I've been a big fan of his, although, I've had a falling off with him a couple years ago.
Sure.
But his last 2 albums, I think, are fantastic. So right here we have The Pale Emperor, and then we also have his brand new one, which is Heaven Upside Down, I believe this is what this is called. Yeah, Heaven Upside Down. Awesome. So, Pale Emperor, this is very gothic. It's very kind of electronic. I really like this album. Cool. It's nicely packaged, as you can see here. It has a little booklet, which he does.
Yeah.
It also comes on, I believe, colored vinyl. And then this is the one that just came out a couple months ago. This is back to the Antichrist Superstar, the angry Marilyn Manson.
Sort of industrial, heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
Pissed off. Trying to I don't know, pee on the world.
Right.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I'm back to loving Marilyn Manson with these 2 albums.
The artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, and the music's there too.
Cool.
I think he's working with a new guitarist. He's not working with John 5 anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm digging it, so it's good stuff.
All right, I'm
check it out.
Now curious.
Yep.
All right, on to the next. So, this band has come up in conversation before and in some videos that we have shot, but I found Sepultura's Arise
nice
on vinyl.
I have this as well,
and it is in my top 5 favorite heavy metal albums of all time.
Absolutely. This album from beginning to end is perfect.
It's perfect. It's a sheer masterpiece.
Yeah.
Double vinyl. And it is just, I was so happy to find it. I'm such a fan of this record. I mean, I love Sepultura as a whole. I love their early records. I love their later records. But Arise to me was sort of when they hit it was like a zeitgeist moment. It was...
I would agree. I think that this album, Arise, is the masterpiece from beginning to end. And then in Chaos AD, which is the one that came after it, that's a good album too, but they got a little bit... They ventured off from the thrash a little bit. It's a great album, but it's not quite as solid as that one.
Exactly.
All right. Well, you've now inspired me to skip ahead.
Oh.
Because I have another album.
Okay.
That is a Sepultura reference here, and that is Nail Bomb.
What's the Sepultura reference?
Well, this has Max.
Cavalera.
Yeah, Cavalera. Yeah. And also,
he's in this band?
Yes.
Oh,
so this is a side project that he did back in like 94.
Okay.
So this is back, in the midst of all of the Sepultura.
See, I love when this happens. That's why we don't show each other.
Yeah. So this is a 2-man project that he did with Alex Newport. I don't know if that's the drummer. I don't know the relationship he has with that. But this is industrial thrash, like metal.
Metal, yeah.
Angry. Industrial. It sounds like Ministry, like that '90s Ministry, out of control.
I love '90s Ministry.
Yeah, you should definitely check out Nail Bomb. It's a really cool. By the way, I bought this in your guys' lobby because when you were interviewing me on the radio at kxp.org, you guys have a record store in your lobby.
Light in the Attic Records.
This was there, and I was like, I haven't seen this in 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So I bought it there.
That's where I bought my Shovel Knight record.
Oh, really?
They had Shovel Knight at the Light in the Attic record store. I was like, all right,
I'd be broke if I worked there. So check out Nail Bomb. It's good stuff.
All right. On to the next. Okay, so this is going to be... Well, actually, this is yours that you left at KEXP.
Did I? Oh,
yes. During our interview.
This is the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack.
Yeah, in a pig destroyer CD
I don't know what that was about, actually. That's so funny.
So anyway, I'm just returning that to you.
Oh, that's right, because we played one of the commercials from this.
That's right. Anyway, so I am pulling out this record by Shadow. You have no idea what this is, do you?
No, but that screams 80s big time.
It does. And what Shadow is this band.
There's some mullets going on here.
There's some mullets going on. Also, they might be stuffing some pants there because the crotch area seems to be
a little larger than normal. Perhaps?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about Shadow is that right there is Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
Oh, you're right.
And this is the band his first band that he was in with the Friel brothers. And I've become friends with the Friel brothers as well.
Young he is.
And Mike McCready is a a tiny kid in this band, and he shreds. And actually, this is really good. It's only 2 songs on this 10-inch vinyl.
Does this get re-released?
It got re-released, I think, through Mike McCready's label, Hockey Doctor.
Wow.
And what's also interesting that I wanted to tell you, while you're taking a look at that, I have to grab my phone, because the reason I wanted to show you this is that Pearl Jam has released a video game, a Pearl Jam video game.
Okay.
It's called Let's Play 2, and what you do is they played 2 nights at the at Wrigley Field, and they made this.
Pearl Jam did.
Pearl Jam did. So they made this video game, and obviously I'm not getting it to work right now, but you can. I will show you the footage.
So Pearl Jam has a video game you can play on your phone.
They have a video game that you can play on your phone, and you can play as the members of Pearl Jam. So you can pick Eddie Vedder or Mike McCready or Stone Gossard, and it's them in Wrigley Field, and they're like hitting baseballs. It's like a home run derby type of video game, but they just released that. And to add to that, they also, thanks to my friends Jess and Christian, they also put out a DVD and a vinyl of their 2 nights at Wrigley Field, but also have this video game that accompanies it.
You know, one thing I really like about Pearl Jam is that they are very good about releasing their live performances. I mean, they have always been really good about doing that.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're one of those bands too where it's different every night.
Right.
And every performance is, special. And so, wow, this is cool, man.
Yeah, they have an amazing archive team that captures all those fantastic performances.
Wow.
And the music in the video game is all 8-bit Pearl Jam songs.
I had no idea.
So you can hear their classic songs in 8-bit form.
Okay, we'll be showing that on the screen.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll show you some footage of the video game.
Okay, that's
later,
pretty damn cool.
But there you go.
All right. Next up for me is another live album. It's just out of the list here. I had to search high and low for this because it came out at a time when this particular album, they weren't releasing vinyl in the U.S. Okay. And that is Ozzy's Just Say Ozzy.
One of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah, and actually I've been kind of going back and trying to get some Ozzy albums, and it's really tough.
It's getting tougher, yeah.
It's getting tough. So for instance, during this era, I really want to find a copy of No More Tears.
Oh, yeah.
But in the U.S., when No More Tears was released, that was CD only, CD and cassette.
Right.
So the vinyl, which was released in Europe, goes for $120, $150.
Right.
This, I didn't pay that much, but I did have to get it from Europe to get the vinyl release of it. I love this because it has Zakk Wylde playing some of these classic songs.
Yeah.
I really like the... Miracle Man, Bloodbath in Paradise, Shot in the Dark. Of course, that was a Jakey Lee song, but Zakk Wylde is playing it, and then some Sweet Leaf and also War Pigs. So it's a short live album.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I had to have it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I love Ozzy.
Yeah, me too.
My Ozzy vinyl collection is pretty amazing, but I don't have that. So
yeah. Well,
you want to talk about being jealous? I am now. All right, so the next thing I want to pull up is another 10-inch vinyl that I found. And I have busted out their first album in a previous video of ours. This was their next record. So I'm a big fan of Helmet.
I love this Helmet album, Betty. Yes.
I love the album cover. It is so deceiving because the music inside.
I know it's so heavy and dissonant.
Yeah,
and
this looks like something that would be nice on
it's
a
like
rainy
Doris
Day. Yes, exactly.
And show tunes.
Yeah, and it's Helmet. And the reason that this is also special to me, it's on this double 10-inch vinyl, and I had found this in 2001 or 2002 at a record store up north, and I was so happy to have it. It was really hard to find because it was back in the day when they weren't making a lot of vinyl.
Absolutely. Now, is this the entire album? What is this?
Yes, it's the entire album. It also has a bonus song on there that doesn't appear on the CD.
It's a double. That's how they're able to do that. Okay.
Exactly. But yeah, it's the full album. And back in 2001 or 2, when I had originally gotten it, I had left it in my car, and it was summertime, and the vinyl melted.
Oh.
And it took me this long to find it again.
So you're saying that this is an original release?
Yes, they pressed this vinyl back
Really?
Back in the day when they weren't even really pressing vinyl.
Huh.
They would press small runs of, there's a Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral vinyl that was pressed, but it's like promo only.
Okay.
So it's very hard to find. And I wasn't going to, I would check eBay and stuff, but I wanted to find it because...
Dude, this is so cool. You know, it's funny that you mention this because I feel like this album's a little bit lost in their catalog because the previous album was such a huge hit.
Right.
And this one is, it's challenging because it has classic Helmet tunes, but it also goes off the rails a little bit.
It does go off the rails.
And I like those songs too.
They're like weird, there's like a distorted banjo-y
song.
Sam Hell.
Sam Hell's a really weird song. It's cool that the entire album, though, is on 10-inch. Wow, that's cool.
So I was very happy to find that. And also it was recorded where their album Meantime was this very tight and very clean production.
Yeah.
This sounds like it was recorded in a garage.
Yeah,
like it just
really
has
does.
this very reverby sound to it. But yeah, it's
I'm
an amazing
jealous.
record.
All right. Another album I have to put on my wish list here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one video game album this video.
Okay.
Bastion. Have you played Bastion?
No, I love that artwork.
Yeah, so Bastion is a downloadable only kind of game, but it's been on. It won all sorts of awards. It's a third-person RPG action game. Really fun. It won all sorts of awards. It's notable because it has a narrator the entire time. So, for instance, it'll talk about the stranger picks up the weapon. Everything you do in the game is narrated. Even if you fall off, even if you die, even if you hesitate for a moment, the game narrates it.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious, right? But it has an amazing soundtrack. So I was able to get this at PAX.
Oh, cool.
The publisher was selling it, and it's a mix of electronic, Western, anime music. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's called Bastion. The name of the artist is Darren Korb. I don't know what.
Yeah.
K-O-R-B.
Korb?
Korb.
All right.
I don't know, but good stuff. So highly recommend
it. You and I never really know how to pronounce names.
It's
just our thing.
never do. I never do. It's my thing. So
yeah.
Good stuff. Good soundtrack.
That's you. So you mentioned PAX. This is what I got at PAX.
Okay.
And I also have to thank John at Behemoth Games for giving me passes for PAX this year. That was very sweet of them.
Oh, cool.
I'm wearing the shirt. I might as well bust out the soundtrack.
I almost bought the soundtrack too.
So I have the cassette and CD version of Nidhogg 2.
Fantastic game.
And some great electronic music performers on here. Mux Mool is a brilliant electronic musician that I love very, very much. Also, who else is on here? Geotic is on here. These great Daedalus, great electronic musicians. I love that the cassette is on pink.
Right.
It's a pink cassette. I love
how cassettes are coming back.
They are in a weird way, and I'm sort of resisting it, but yet at the same time, look at me, I'm buying them.
I know, especially if they do stuff like that where it's colored.
It's colored. Yeah. It's got the download inside. It's got great artwork inside. But I'm a huge fan of Nidhogg too.
So, do you have a cassette player?
I do actually.
Do you?
Yep. And I have quite a few cassettes.
The only cassette player I have is it's one of those Sportsman. It's like a Sony. It's a Walkman, but it's yellow and it's designed to go underwater.
Yeah.
But it's all crusted and it needs like new belts and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like 20 years, 30 years old,
Yeah.
So I need to repair it, but I've been thinking about it, like, okay, I need to bust that thing out. Because I want to go into like a Starbucks with it on my hip.
Oh, you have, with the old school
headphones. With the foam headphones.
Yes. Yeah. You need to.
That'd be so cool. No, I wouldn't.
Wearing a pair of Oakley sunglasses with a No Fear shirt. Yeah.
That's right, with my collar pushed up.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of that era, the next album that I'm going to pick is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
My dad introduced me to the band Whitesnake.
Oh, yeah?
My dad is on the younger side. He loved Deep Purple, and David Coverdale was he's a singer of Whitesnake. He got to start there. Mm-hmm. So when the 1987 album came out, my dad bought this, and I loved it. So I listened to this a lot. This is the 30th anniversary edition, so this just came out a couple months ago. And it's, even that cover just gets me all misty-eyed.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah, so what's really cool about this is that David Coverdale went back and he removed a bunch of the there's a couple. So you'll see that there's 2 discs in here.
Okay.
There's the original if you want it.
Yeah.
But then he's gone and he's actually removed some of the cheesier 80s stuff on there.
Oh, interesting.
Like the over the top keyboards and the over the top reverb. So
they like remixed it.
Yes, and remastered it basically. So they went back to the masters and they did it to where it was like, okay, what would this album sound like if he was released today?
I like that idea.
It's pretty cool because not only that, like with the reverb off, I was listening to it and I was like, oh my gosh, you hear all this extra guitar stuff that would get lost in reverb.
Yep.
Also, with the keyboards gone, you're just like, it doesn't sound as dated. It's just guitars, bass, and drums.
That's really cool because and that can get a little confusing to purists.
Yes.
Because they're like, what? No, I
don't mess with the perfection.
But you know what? That version will always exist,
and it's here.
Why not here? And it's in there too.
And it's in here too. So
yeah.
So what's really cool about this again is that you get that if you want it, but you also get that you get the 2017 remix if you want.
Yeah.
There's also live tracks on here, and if you get the CD version of this, he includes demo versions of when they're making it.
Oh.
So you'll get take 4 where there's maybe the chorus was a little bit changed and stuff like that.
Sure.
So really neat if you're a fan of this album.
I like that idea. Actually, they remixed. Dave Mustaine remixed "Rust in Peace."
Oh, I remember hearing. Yes.
And it was a new mix and remastered, and it blew my mind.
Yeah,
it sounded so good. It was like loud. It was punching through the speakers, and you hear things that you couldn't hear on the original album, and you realize how much work goes into these records and how talented these people were that made these records. And so I would like to hear that new remix.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I was very happy to get this.
Very cool. All right, where am I going now? Oh yeah, we're gonna go here. Another video game soundtrack coming.
Okay.
Gunstar Heroes.
Whoa.
Yes. This company, Data, who makes these reissues, or these... Well, actually, they've never been on vinyl before. But awesome game, awesome soundtrack. Yeah. And yet, you get this fantastic poster.
Oh, yeah. The game
and
is
it's
so
double-sided poster.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's cool. Look at this.
And check out the colored vinyl.
Oh, yeah, red vinyl. Huh.
And so yet another... My video game soundtrack collection is starting to get a little out of hand.
I'm glad you're doing this because I've made a conscious effort because of space that I'm only going to focus primarily on rock and metal because I'd be so tempted to go this route. There's so many. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah.
That way I can maybe borrow it or come over to your house and listen to it.
Of course.
So, all right. So next up for me is an album completely took me by surprise. Brand new album by the band Weezer. Have you heard this album yet?
No.
So Weezer put out an album called Pacific Daydream. Now the funny story is, you know Weezer,
of course.
Weezer every couple of years do a colored album, right? They did the original blue album, red,
green. They had a green album, yeah.
Maybe they did a white one. So they were going to do a black album, but it was going to be heavy stuff, right?
I would want to hear heavy Weezer.
I know. But what they ended up doing was writing this instead. This is the opposite of that, and it is amazing. This is a Beach Boys album.
Wow.
Imagine Weezer writing a Beach Boys album. And I'm also a big fan of and also Beach Boys meets the Beatles. It's a crazy album. I love
Didn't even know
album.
they had a new album.
I know.
And I'm an old fan. I love Pinkerton. I love the Blue album. I even liked the Green album. And then sporadically they would have some songs that I'd be like, oh, it's pretty good. So, but I definitely fell off the Weezer train at some point. But now I'm curious.
And I'm kind of with you. I'm not 100% all the time with Weezer.
Right.
I really, actually, to be quite honest, I like their guitar stuff.
Sure.
I like their riff-driven stuff. This album completely shocks me. It's not the typical music that I would normally listen to. Beautiful colored vinyl as well.
Wow.
But just absolutely fantastic.
Okay. I'm beyond curious to listen. All right, what do I got next? All right, we're going another video game soundtrack.
Okay.
I've been buying a lot of them. But look at that. Woo.
Oh. Contra. Dude, look at that cover. Wow.
It's pretty killer. The artwork is amazing.
Wow. That is amazing.
Contra it holds a place in my heart. It was one of the first arcade games that I became obsessed with and pumped so many quarters in.
Wow.
And I just love the original soundtrack. And once again, I'm starting to collect more video game vinyl.
Yeah.
I came video game vinyl heavy today.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Only because that's what I've been picking up. That's what we do, is what we've recently picked up. Yep. I recently picked this up, and I couldn't hold back.
They did a great job on this cover. I mean, I love the matte finish, but then the logo has shine to it, and same with the back.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, look at that. So, okay, side A is NES version. Side B is the
arcade version. Interesting. And this company, too. So earlier I mentioned Data, but Mondo is another great company.
Yeah, they're doing some awesome work.
Fantastic packaging.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Damn you.
Yes.
Next up for me is a brand new band.
Oh.
It is Greta Van Fleet.
I love the name.
Mr.
Is it a band? It's not a person, it's a band?
It's a band.
Okay.
It's named after, I think, like a neighborhood or something like that. I heard an interview with these guys. So these four gentlemen are very young. We're talking probably 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
This album is Led Zeppelin 1.
Wow.
Think of Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, that raw bluesy garage rock of Led Zeppelin 1.
Yes.
This is shockingly close to that. It's amazing.
What the hell? Where are they from?
I don't know. I want to say, I mean, they're from the U.S. somewhere.
Okay.
But they're getting a lot of attention from record labels because they're so amazingly talented.
Yeah.
The Highway Tune is the song that you'll see on, I mean, it probably has millions of views on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're on, Republic Records is a huge label. And three of the people have same last names.
Yeah,
they're siblings.
Yeah, they're siblings. Really, really shockingly good. And again, if you are someone who's looking for Led Zeppelin style blues, well, I'll play it later.
Yeah.
It'll blow you away. It's really good. Yeah.
I definitely want to hear this.
Yeah.
When we're done.
We'll fire that one up.
All right. So this next one is not necessarily. I'm not sure if it's an artist that you would be into or get into. I mean, I know that you have a wide taste in music.
I'm open to anything.
But I'm showing this for the packaging, and I found a used one, so I wanted to show you.
Scared a little bit.
Yeah, you should be. So this is Father John Misty. Are you familiar with Father John Misty at all?
No.
He's a singer-songwriter who used to be the drummer for the Fleet Foxes. And then he broke off onto his own and calls himself Father John Misty. He's so that's the interesting thing. It plays a song for you when you hold it open in a certain way. And it's a pop-up. It's like a pop-up book.
Dude, this is awesome!
Yeah, it's like crazy packaging. So it plays this little music box song when you hold it in a certain way, and it's like a pop-up book when you open it. And Sub Pop Records put it out. Sub Pop does a great job. And the artwork is bizarre.
Yeah. So what kind of music is this?
So it's kind of hard to explain. He's got a very sarcastic wit to him, but it could be considered singer-songwriter, but it kind of goes in a bunch of different directions.
I mean, is it like Frank Zappa-esque, where it's smart?
No, I mean, it's smart, yes. It's if you just imagine somebody at a piano and there's like a cigarette in the ashtray, but he's kind of singing very sort of cutting and sarcastic lyrics. He did a performance on Letterman once, and he was playing the piano and he was singing, and he's got a great voice. And then at one point he just stood up and walked away from the piano, but the piano was still playing. It was a self-playing piano. And he cut in crowd noises, like crowds cheering it's actually on the record as well, but crowds cheering during the song. And I guess the Letterman crowd was cheering, and he just put it in there to make it sound like the audience was going crazy. But really, it was pre-recorded. So.
I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, he's an interesting character, and
the packaging is amazing.
He's a really original, one of the most original artists of our time.
Now, it's Sub Pop. Is he from Seattle? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, his name's Josh Tillman, but he's from Seattle, but he now lives in LA.
Okay.
And now he's gotten pretty popular. You know, he's all hanging out with like Beck and the whole LA scene. Yeah, he's gotten pretty popular.
The way you described it, I could see Beck doing that.
Yeah, but great artwork, great packaging. I love the music box.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
It's just so bizarre. Huh. So yeah, Father John Misty.
All right. Next up for me is one of my favorite metal albums of all time.
Oh boy.
And I was surprised to see this. I think they're reissuing all of the Judas Priest albums.
Dude.
And Painkiller.
Okay.
Painkiller.
The drums. The opening drums.
Yes.
The Painkiller.
Yes.
I can honestly say changed my life.
Yeah, I remember the moment when I first heard this album.
Yeah, me too.
Because it shocked me. It was just like...
It was shocking.
Yeah. And I think for people to appreciate this album, they need to understand that, Judas Priest have a long history. Mm-hmm. They started off bluesy, then they got into hair metal, and they got kind of lost in the 80s. And out of nowhere came this beast of an album with anger and energy and fire. This is an amazing album. And I think nowadays people look back at this like, wow, this is the first like power metal thrash album by a major artist. And it still holds up today. I was listening to it the other day, and again, I'm just like, oh my God, this sounds so great, you know? And you're right, the drummer.
That opening to Painkiller, it literally changed my... I was listening to it when I was 15 years old, and I immediately wanted to learn the drums, play the drums. That opening is so amazing. Also, Touch of Evil is such a sinister song, and Rob Halford's vocals are just... I mean, he's a legend. He's a metal god.
And he sounds like a banshee on this. Again, it's where... It was shocking because we didn't get this on Turbo. You know what I mean? We didn't get quite the fury and anger, and it was just out of control. It was amazing. So I think this album actually kind of solidified Judas Priest in the halls of metal.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
A band that so far into their career could put out an album so great as this. It was a game changer. So
game changer.
To get it on vinyl, I was like, oh my goodness, like
it's kind of a must. And great album cover.
Look at that album cover.
I'm scared of it still.
I know, it's so awesome.
I think I might be down to my last one.
I am as well.
Okay. So this was an interesting find. This is a Japanese release of the Super Mario Brothers song.
What?
And what's kind of great about it, or very great about it, is Okay. So it is, like it says right here, it is the original soundtrack of classic video game composed in 1985 by Koji Kondo, the genius.
Yeah, it's an amazing song.
And check this out. So you take it out.
Where the hell did you get this?
I might have been that came into Easy Street Records, maybe.
Oh my God!
You get stickers.
I would snag this in a second.
Yeah, you get stickers, and then you get the poster. All this in a 7-inch.
Wait, packaging. Is this new or is this old?
So I think it's a reissue of an old 7-inch.
Wow.
But the old one probably doesn't have the poster and and this artwork.
Dude.
But when I saw it,
cool.
I just had to get it.
Huh.
Yeah, it was either Easy Street or Sonic Boom, one of the records. And somebody had come up to me and they were like, I think they saw me on your channel. Yeah. They're like, hey, you're on the video game channel with the metal dude, the Jesus-y guy. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, look what we have. And I was like, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
dude, that is
a reissue
so cool.
of the Japanese reissue of the Super Mario Brothers song from 1985.
Wow.
And stickers and a poster, and I was very happy to find that.
All right, I want that. All right, my last one is another one of my favorite albums from the 90s.
Okay.
Should I make you guess?
Okay. Let's do this.
It is a very popular artist from the 1990s. This is his second album. It originally is 5 songs plus a little 3-inch CD. So it's 5 plus 2.
And so I'm going to say, is it the Broken EP?
Aha!
Yeah!
Yes, so Trent Reznor remastered and re-released Broken on vinyl. Now, another game changer for me. At the time, I was listening to a lot of traditional rock and metal and stuff like that, and I think I read the magazine like, check out Nine Inch Nails. I'm like, okay, who's this guy? Sure, I'll buy it. Amazing album.
Amazing.
To put it into context, and actually there's a little booklet in here where Trent talks about his headspace at the time, where Pretty Hate Machine came out, and that's definitely a little bit of a poppy electronic album.
Yeah.
But he was fighting with the record label because he really wanted to have more control over his music. And so he went off the rails. He secretly made this album without the record label knowing, and it's just pissed off, it's angry, it's dissonant, it's noisy, it's nasty, but I absolutely love it. So what's cool about it is that, like I mentioned, it's 5 songs. He remastered it. It's newly remastered for vinyl because it never came out on it, and so so he put all 5 songs on one side, and then
it's etched.
It's etched, and I don't know. I can't tell if it's like lettering or what, or if there's a secret message there.
Right.
I kind of feel like there might be swear words and stuff.
It's like a swirl. Maybe if you put it on there and watched it spin, it probably looks pretty cool. Yeah. I wonder.
And then the original release, as I mentioned, also, and I have this too.
Me too.
It
has bonus CD.
Has a little bonus CD, which is 2 cover songs. So one of the cover songs is an Adamant song. And the other one is a. Oh crap, it's a side project of Ministry that he wrote a song for. I forget what it is. But anyways, so he did that in 7-inch as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Isn't it cool?
Now you have me wondering what that other bonus song was, because it's the Adamant song and then...
oh crap.
I know, I'm trying to remember.
I know.
But I also, at the beginning of here's an interesting little tidbit. He was so mad at TVT Records, his previous label, and I think the guy's name was Steve Gottlieb or something, and at the beginning of one of those songs, the bonus songs, the drums start, and right before the guitars kick in, you can hear him whisper, "Eat your heart out, Steve." Just something to listen for.
Yeah, no,
that was his little message to, F you.
This is a really cool album because, again, he talks blatantly about how much he hated that guy.
He is very vocal about that.
Very vocal about it.
He won a big settlement from that whole thing. It took him years.
Yeah. And so... This is this is actually my favorite Nine Inch Nails album. Yeah. I like the Downward Spiral, but there's a little bit of fat in that album. There's no fat in this.
It's 6 songs. Well, with the bonus, you get a couple more, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like from beginning to end, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's as good as Nine Inch Nails gets.
It definitely is, and definitely the more rocking side of Nine Inch Nails. So
very much.
And they just did such a great job. I mean, all of it's here, the lyrics, everything.
And then back in the day when they stopped pressing the little bonus disc, they just would put them at track like 98, 99.
Yeah.
So your CD player back in the day, after track 6, it would go 7, 8, 9, 10. Like it would just go on its own. Silent. And you would wait or you'd hurry it up and get to track 98 and 99, and that's where the bonus songs were.
It's so funny.
Which is also really inventive.
It's so funny you mentioned that because that was annoying because there were some albums that did that, right?
Yeah.
But it always sucked if you put on shuffle.
Yeah.
Because it would shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
80 little spaces in there, and you're like, damn it, I saw this in the album.
You can't shuffle that CD. There's no way.
That reminds me, I have the original pressing of Prince's Love Sexy, and that is all one track. You can't forward.
Oh.
It's all one track.
I didn't know that.
It's so annoying.
It's kind of funny, though.
It's kind of funny.
That's Prince being like, this is awesome, listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. But, back then, they were playing around with the CD format and trying to do some funny and interesting things with it, right?
People were doing interesting things with CDs. They were trying to get creative with it. I mean, obviously, Trent did. There was this band called Sister Machine Gun that was on Wax Trax Records, another industrial band. And I owned that album. I listened to it for like a year straight and never knew it. And somebody had told me, right when you put the CD in, if you hit rewind, there's a song before the first song. And there really is. And it's like it's them covering the Doors or something. But you put it in, put the CD in, and just hit rewind. It goes backwards before the first track.
Oh, so you not to jump back, but you have to hold the rewind.
Hold it, rewind, and you have to rewind it all the way. And there's a song before the first song on a CD.
Really?
I never had heard of it, and I don't know how many other people have done that, but it's the only one I know of.
That is crazy.
Yeah, people are just getting creative with CDs.
Yeah, definitely. That's so cool.
This is great, and so much fun to do this again.
Yep.
With you.
Yeah, well, dude, so many great albums and albums.
Yeah. Albums and albums. And we're going to keep picking up more albums and albums.
Yes.
And we do this just, periodically after we sort of build a stack up.
Yes.
And then we come together and we go eat Mexican food and drink a margarita and then have a beer and do this.
It's true.
Yeah.
So we'd love to know, what are you guys listening to? What albums do you think that we should check out? Because we are always looking for the latest and greatest.
That's very true.
Definitely, I know. All right, so dude, where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, I'm on Instagram at just my name, Troy Nelson, but with 3 L's in Nelson. I usually just post really obscure, really weird videos that I film in my basement when I'm home alone.
That sounds creepy.
It's very creepy, actually. Check it out. So, and on Twitter at the Troy Nelson.
That's right.
Or you can hear me on KEXP at kexp.org, or if you live in Seattle at 90.3 KEXP. My show is on Saturdays from 3 to 6, or you might hear me filling in for the daytime people throughout the week as well.
Yeah, he's been on a lot lately.
Yes, well, holidays are coming up, so I've been on a lot, and I had Mr. Metal Jesus on recently, and we did a interview, and we talked about video game music.
That was fun.
And I think people can listen to that.
Yeah. I have it on Patreon, actually, so you gave me a copy of it, so if you want to listen to me on the radio, and we get to play, as opposed to on YouTube here, we got to play a bunch of music, so we played like the Fallout theme, we played Grand Theft Auto, it was awesome.
So much fun.
So yeah, go to patreon.com/MetalJesusRocks, you can listen to it there. All right, guys, well, thanks for coming on, dude.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, take care. Good times hanging out with my buddy Troy, talking everything music. Now, please do me a favor, and if you like this video, click that like button, and also share it on social media. I would greatly appreciate it, because I love music, I love video games, and we love doing these videos, and we'd love for them to find an audience. Speaking of which, you're going to want to be subscribed to my channel, because I release 2 new videos every single week. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching.